Extraordinary lady here again. I welcome you to the Period Talk, the very fourth episode. My name is Becca Shion, and today we're going to be discussing period etiquette. But before then, here's a quick story of a guy who shared his story. He said he went to the restroom and found blood spilled all over. He had a very traumatizing experience and he couldn't explain why there was blood in the toilet. So what really happened was a lady went to the men's room on her period. That she went to the men's toilet instead of the ladies, and in the process of getting cleaned up, she stained the toilet and left it like that. That was a very bad experience for the guy, and also very uncultured on the part of the lady, which brings us to why we're going to be discussing the period etiquette today. So before we go on, let's just have a quick recap of last week. Last week we shared period tips and care hygiene, and we're able to mention 5 tips on how you can care for yourself during your period. If you're yet to watch the first 3 videos, I encourage you to do so, as if you do not, you're missing out a lot. It has a lot of sugar and pepper in it, so I advise that you go back and watch. And if you're joining me for the very first time on this channel, I welcome you specially, and I say that I'm happy that you're here on the channel, and I also like you to hit the subscribe button and also give me my like. And here's a smile for the like. Now you owe a debt, make sure you pay. So on today's topic, which is period etiquette, what is etiquette? Now, etiquette is the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group. Now, simply put, code of conduct. Etiquette is doing things the right way, in the right way that it should be done. And the Bible also proves with etiquette, because the Bible talks about having times and seasons and doing things in the right way. The Bible also talks about orderliness. Remember the scripture I shared with you last week from Message Translation, Proverbs 31, where it talks about an organized woman. Now there is orderliness in everything that we do, and so when it comes to period, there is orderliness as well. And today I have about 9 etiquettes I'll be sharing with you very briefly. Stay with me. So the very first etiquette I have for you today is don't leave blood stains anywhere, either on the clothes or in the toilet. Don't leave blood stains anywhere. Always clean up after yourself. Now, it's very common when you go to clean up, maybe you in the toilet, maybe you just go to ease yourself and then blood spills. Please do whatever it is in your power not to leave blood stains anywhere. This is not a good habit. It is not nice for people who don't own the blood to come see the blood. It's not a good thing. Other girls see their period does not mean they have to see yours. So don't leave blood stains in the toilet. It's not a good attitude. Also, don't leave blood stains on clothes. Maybe you got stained during your period. Maybe your pants got stained. Try as much as possible not to leave that stain on you. Make sure that you wash it off, and don't leave clothes that have been stained unwashed. It's very, very important. Second etiquette is dispose used pad properly. You go to the toilet and you find used pads on the ground, open. And this is not nice. It is not ladylike to use your pad and keep it anyhow. Ensure that you dispose of the pads properly. Don't flush them down the toilet. Don't flush them down the toilet. When you unwrap your pad, you notice that there is usually a package before the main pad. After using it, the thing you're supposed to do is roll up that pad, roll it up, and use that package outer and roll it back. And if possible, use another package or nylon to wrap it again before trashing it. Well, in Africa, we have some kind of African beliefs that people could use these pads for very bad purposes, which could be spiritual. And so in those cases, if you have such beliefs, ensure that you burn your pads. You could also have more videos coming on how to burn those pads. But for today, make sure you dispose your pads properly. And also, the third etiquette is avoid getting stained. At all costs, make sure that the blood does not show on your clothes. Avoid getting stained. It is a period etiquette. And if you get stained, do something in your power to cover it up. You could use hair tie. Just do something smart. You're stained, and some people do not they don't feel ashamed. They'll say, after all, it's my period, so even if I get stained, I can walk about. It's not ladylike. Period is with dignity. Even if it is your blood, even if it is something to be proud of, it does not mean that you should walk around stained. Don't go around stained. The fourth period is watch your behavior and act as if it's a normal day. Now, I had a conversation with a guy, and while I was gathering data for this video, I asked her, what is the most annoying things ladies do when you're on your period? He said that they begin to act like they are sick, like they are pregnant. You just notice that they're on their period. It's not like they're in some sort of pain or anything. So just put themselves in this kind of crazy mood and begin to drag themselves, And it is not ladylike. If you're on your period, walk the way you walk before. Talk the way you talk before. Act the way you act before. Don't begin to be sluggish. If you're in so much pain that you cannot control, cut out activities, take pain reliever. We talked about that in the previous videos. Try not to begin to act as if the whole world has come to an end. I'm sorry to use that language, but when you're on your period, be poised, dress well. Don't act like you're depressed. And then the fifth tip for the period etiquette is don't overshare. Not everyone is supposed to know when you're on your period. It is personal. It is not a shameful thing, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't mean you should have to announce to everybody that you're on your period. It's a normal thing. Everybody must not know. Okay, your spouse, maybe your sibling can know. Maybe for an important reason, but it is not needful. It is not ladylike to announce to the whole class, to announce to everyone at work that you are on your period. It is not something to be ashamed of, don't get me wrong, but some people, it's not necessary for some people to know that you're on your period. Only tell the right people. And then the sixth one is, again, open to the right people. Open up to the right people and don't be ashamed about it. Now, open up to the right people, your spouse or your boyfriend or somebody you're in a relationship with, and you're acting funny and he asks why. You can tell him you're on your period. Or maybe you're with your friend and she asks what's wrong. You can tell her. Now, there has to be a balance between people you share personal things with and people you don't share personal things with. Maybe a lecturer is teaching in the class, and then maybe you're acting sluggish, and then he asks you what is wrong, and then you announce in the whole class that you're on your period. It's not really ladylike for you to announce to the whole congregation of the class that you're on your period, but learn to also tell the right people. And now, you can also use code names when you want to talk about period in public places, or you don't want to use the words. You can use code names like man in the red ship, red flower, red visitor, my red boyfriend. You can use so many code names. I won't tell you mine. Now, the seventh period etiquette is you should buy pads freely. A lot of ladies go to buy pads and then they wait for everybody to leave before buying the pad. It shouldn't be a shameful thing. You can walk in there and say, this is what I want. This is the type I want. It is not a shameful thing to buy pad. The things I think that are shameful to buy are things that cause us to sin. Things like postinol for unmarried ladies. Those are the shameful things that you shouldn't be caught buying. But buying your pad, you should buy it freely. Don't remove that shame from today. If you're going to buy your pad, don't cover your mouth. Give me Vironi. No, give me always. Stop doing that. Ask freely. But let there be a balance to that freeness too. Don't just go into the shop and just announce, I want pad. That's not ladylike as well. Now there just has to be a balance. And now the etiquette is that you should wash your hands before and after changing your pad. Now your body is fragile, germs can get in and out easily, so I encourage that you make sure that you wash your hands before the change, so that the germs will not touch the period product, maybe the pad you're about to use. And after changing, ensure you wash your hands as well. Now the ninth period etiquette is that you should have good hygiene and smell nice on your period. We talked about that in 2 whole videos. I advise you go back and watch it. Now you should smell nice on your period. Use cologne. Take your bath as much as you can during your period. If you notice during your period you sweat more, and then the sweat smells more. I've been trying to research the chemistry beside that, but it's because the hormonal balance of the body is different during the period, and so the sweat tends to smell more, and you tend to smell faster than you used to normally because of the flow. So make sure you smell nice during your period and don't suffocate people, your body odor. Go back to my previous videos and watch how to care for yourself on your period. Thank you so much for staying with me today. I hope you learned a thing or two, and don't forget to subscribe. It's just down there. Just tap it and give me my like too. Have a nice day.